I had never thought I'd find myself in this position. Not like this. Not with the woman I married, the woman I loved, casually taking someone else across the ocean while I stayed behind, working, paying for a life she had decided to betray. It started with a casual comment, offhand, almost careless. "We're going to the Dominican for a few days, just some fun." At first, I thought she meant a girls' trip, maybe a work retreat. I didn't question it. I trusted her. Or, more accurately, I wanted to trust her so badly that I didn't see the signs. Weeks later, the truth came out. She wasn't traveling with friends. She was traveling with him, her lover, someone I had never even met but who had been secretly occupying a space in my life, in my marriage, that I had no idea about. I didn't react immediately. I didn't call, confront, or scream. I waited. I watched. I collected evidence quietly. I wanted to be sure before I let the anger, betrayal, and humiliation dictate my actions. And when I confirmed everything, I made a choice. Not the choice she expected, not the choice she thought she deserved. I called the hotel. I didn't yell, I didn't threaten. I spoke politely, professionally, and explained that I had an unexpected request. "Can you upgrade their room?" I asked. "To a couple's suite. Whatever the best option is." The woman on the other end was confused but obliging. She didn't know, and I didn't tell her. I didn't need to. I knew exactly what would happen. They would think they were enjoying privacy, intimacy, and exclusivity, but they would be watched, quietly, discreetly, enough for the hotel management to know, enough for them to feel the consequences of their choices. I waited. Not from a place of vengeance in the emotional sense. I waited from a place of clarity, detachment, and control. I wanted her to realize that actions have consequences, that betrayal leaves traces, and that nothing she did in secret would ever truly be hidden. The photos and updates came eventually. Subtle, fleeting glimpses sent through mutual friends, social media, or simply gossip. They had been upgraded to the most luxurious suite in the hotel. The staff was aware of the situation. Any attempt at secrecy was immediately compromised. Her confusion, the moment she realized that the supposed privacy she had manipulated me for didn't exist, was beautiful in a quiet, unsentimental way. Not because I wanted to humiliate her, but because I wanted her to see that the power she thought she wielded was an illusion. She had assumed I was passive. She had assumed I was oblivious. She had assumed she could enjoy her betrayal without consequences. I had allowed her to discover how wrong that assumption was. I didn't make a scene. I didn't chase her. I didn't scream. I simply let reality catch up to her. When she returned, triumphant, thinking she had escaped the watchful eye of justice or consequence, I was calm, composed, untouchable. She expected guilt, tears, questions, apologies. She got none of that. She got silence, distance, and the knowledge that the marriage she thought she could manipulate was no longer hers to control. The aftermath was even more telling. Her attempts to reconcile were met with polite, unwavering boundaries. Every attempt to excuse herself, to explain away her betrayal, was met with evidence, documentation, and quiet truths. I didn't need drama. I didn't need vindication. I needed clarity, dignity, and the reclamation of my own life. The lesson I learned through all this is subtle but powerful. Betrayal doesn't always demand confrontation, rage, or vengeance in the traditional sense. Sometimes it requires strategy, patience, and a calm sense of justice that lets truth and the awareness of consequences speak louder than any emotional outburst ever could. She took her lover to the Dominican. I upgraded their room. She assumed I was clueless, untouchable, and passive. I proved silently that none of that was true. And for the first time in months, I felt a strange sense of peace. Not from revenge, not from satisfaction, but from clarity, control, and the quiet, undeniable realization that her choices no longer held power over my life.